keep this, I mean, this, I see only on television things like this. They have very large ears with a triangle ears, and they have, eyes like a tennis ball. So now we take that one off. So, so when will be technology developed that could record my wisdom at a great distance?
We're working on that. Working on it.
Because this is like, this is like a burden. It's okay. So now I have to check on the time because they always give me, it's only 30 minutes. Nobody wants to learn. People.
Everybody wanted to write.
Everybody, but this is everywhere. Yeah, everybody wants to write. They don't want to hear a lecture. So today I want to start about writing is of course a function of the mind and not your body. The body is the braille, the aiding system that communicates textually and by balance your wishes and your will. But we don't really train a horse with our body other than just the language. The entire training is with the mind. And horses memorize and do what you do most of the time. It's like personality. Aristotle said, now this is loose. Why? How do I make it? Is it okay? So Aristotle said that we do what we do most of the time. Therefore, excellence is not an event, it's a habit. It's a habit. Excellent people are excellent in everything. They plant geraniums excellently. They uncork white wine excellently. Excellence is a habit. And horses learn to do what we repeatedly do to them. So they learn as eagerly and keenly all the wrong things as possible. A horse is going crazy. A horse is rearing. A horse is slamming himself sideways, throwing himself into the wall. He's hysterical. He wasn't born to do that. It's learned behavior. It's careful schooling by a horrible person, and the rider turns out to be the horrible horse he never was. So everything is learned. And this is why the mind of the rider has to be very clear what are the things that lead to progress and what are the things never to be pursued. So a horse is asked medium trot on the diagonal, and he strikes the canter, and the brutal idiot that thinks he's a rider but he is not, he is an idiot, he stops the horse, jerks it around, hits it with his whip, backs him up 22 steps, smacks him again. What did he teach the horse? You should only exclusively do things, ask the horse to do things you want. Do you want him to rear? Do you want him to back 22 steps? I judged all my young life, but now I'm 27, so I cannot judge anymore. Well, I could, but I wouldn't. So a horse came in and collected canter, halt at X, salute, and he went straight back out on the same gate he came in, and the rider disappeared on the other end, and the judge rang the bell, you are dismissed. Well, the horse learned this somewhere, because every time he didn't read the mind and stop or something. Somebody jerked him, somebody brutalized him, somebody gave him so much pain, he just said, "I'm gone." And he was gone. Congratulations. So, a horse, so here I come to the bottom line. Horses don't make any mistakes. If a horse breaks from a collected canter into a trot or a walk, he didn't make a mistake at all. It's either the baboon in the saddle who made the mistake, or maybe the baboon is faultless. Neither of them made a mistake. It's life. Life goes on. Why? He is not born to canter for the next millennium. No, why not break to the trot? He felt, I'm bored, I'm tired, nobody told me to stay in the canter, I'm trotting, I made a choice. Horses don't make mistakes. They don't have a will and they don't have a plan. They are not proactive. They don't say, this is Tuesday, I'm going to pitch her on the floor. I'm going to stand there like a mule with a lazy head hanging down, all kindness and sweetness until she's in the saddle. Then I spin, give a good tall buck, and slam her, pancake her to the floor. Doesn't exist. A horse has no plan like this. If he does this, you are the cause of it. He wasn't born. They are not born with ideas, horses. So horses make no mistake. They don't know the concept of mistake. So he does something, he goes sideways and tries to go out on the front door of the riding arena. He doesn't understand when you beat him or somebody. He has to be told, I want you to stay in this arena. And the horse says, but I don't want to stay. And then you have to use your intellect, how to convince him that this is the right place and reward. Every step he doesn't go outward, you touch his neck and pet him. And he makes one more step. In other words, you work everything with a horse on teaching and rewarding. Teaching is repeatedly showing what you want, not the 2,000 things you don't want. Just the thing you want is what you show. And you repeat it until he masters the concept and can do it for you better and better. And when he does anything that is vaguely correct, you reward him. The riding is a sequence. I'm in harmony with you, but I want a change. I prepare you. That's the half-heart. I prepare your attention, your focus, your taming. Are you with me? Little Brownie says yes. So Agatha says, change. Go from this shuffling little ugly non-existent trot to a right canter that is a western lope and horrible. So little Brownie obliges and goes into this 4-beat food processor feeling that loosens your kidney stones, and you are as appreciative, you immediately touch his neck for reward. A full fist, a rein in your fist, and you reach forward and say tap, tap, because he is a genius. He is now in the canter, for which Brownie has to be told, this is what I wanted. This is not a mistake. So then he canters, poor little thing, and then you break it back to the trot so he can pulverize your kidney stones more and pop your eyes out of their sockets. And then Brownie breaks to the trot and you immediately touch him again. They will be very quickly very good. People don't reward. This was one of the big wow changes in my. I was teaching in America, and no rider ever rewarded the horse. And I would say, half pass left, and here goes the horse, and nobody touches his neck. Good, you little tweet, you. I mean, the horse has to know that he's actually doing it. Communication between horse and rider. The horse's attention and ears have to be back folded towards the rider, submitting his mind to the rider's command and communication. If you never reward him, if you never talk to him, he soon gets bored. You are not as brilliant as you think you are. You bore the horses and your mother-in-law and your driver, and you bore everybody. However, when you are riding a horse, you are not boring. You are busy making him fall in love with you. He's bristling with attention. Where is my little Agatha? And then you tell him, well, I'm here in the middle doing a little shoulder in. Why don't you communicate with me? So this is the story. There are no mistakes. There's no punishment. And there is perpetual reward. Reward is the third phase of communication. The fourth is harmony and finish. So harmony to warning, half halt, to change, to reward, and to harmony. Do you see the sequence of events between horse and rider? So punishment shouldn't exist and shouldn't be allowed or encouraged by teachers or coaches, because it absolutely makes no sense to the horse. By the time you punish a horse or hit a horse or jerk a horse, he doesn't even know why. Not that he's eager to find out. He's not inquisitive. He's not Albert Einstein. He couldn't care less what the reason is. He knows pain, he knows confusion, he knows abruption. He's going to throw you or kick you or do something. So any questions or any conversation about this? Yes? Where? Oh, good. Yes.
I put it down because you said about this. If it's not out of order when you're speaking, if you could elaborate on the inside seafoam?
A lot. Yes, I elaborate on it a lot because it's essential, it's very important. So most of our misunderstandings come from the horse being an entirely different structure and entirely different balance mechanism than humans. And we are self-centered. We always think of us, us, us. The horse is not on top of his locomotion like a vertical human. He is a long pipe. And at the end, somebody holds this pipe. It's an aluminum piece of plumbing coming into your 3-bedroom home. And you hold it here, and the pipe goes down and anchors on the floor by its own weight. And that is your horse. Your horse is helplessly trying to balance on this pipe, and you are trying to lift the pipe out of the mud and higher and higher and higher and higher, and 16 years later into the Levad, where the whole thing is risen up on 2 tiny hoofs, and the hocks only 4 inches off the ground. He sits with a huge weight, composite weight with Agatha on his back. And then this pipe, this aluminum pipe, is his spine. And we sometimes need to have the horse long and low and push a peanut on the ground so the pipe is continuous, but it's not in a zigzag or a wiggle. So we talk about a spine rather than a lizard or a snake rolling from side to side, nor something trying to move with kinetic energy, meaning by his own weight and propellant through space. So we are in a very delicate situation, trying to rock back this composite weight to two waiting hind legs and the lumbar back that lifts it, like a crane lifts a car off the deck of a ship. It's all lifted up, and the horse has to be in perpetual lifted position, that only a fraction of his body weight is now approaching the ground. Most of it is lifted away from the ground in order to go through space. So for this reason, the horse is only in balance when turning or changing direction or doing in any bend position by correctly bending his spine, because that's his only shock absorber. So if you have been, like I was, on a privileged safari in Africa, actually 3 of them, by then screaming. However, the jeeps had no shock absorbers, so you bounced around like a maniac until every bone in your body was broken, and then you were taken home without having been eaten on the way. So the horse can only live without self-injury with you on your back. He doesn't need it if he's alone on the pasture. By bending continuously so the front can be raised and the haunch is taxed and sunken. In order to do that, you have to be on the inside of that aluminum pipe called his spine. You cannot be on the outside falling away from him. Then you injure him. You can be, he won't lie down on the floor, but he is going to be under duress, and you will injure the neuromuscular system and the joints. So your duty as an unwelcome intruder, because Agatha is never welcome, to sit on the horse outside leg back, that's the only guarantee that your weight is on the inside seat bone. So it's not like, oh, you want me inside seat bone, I'll lean into it like a motorcycle driver. No. You have nothing to do but to put your outside leg back, and that is your problem. You change a figure 8, now you are right circle, now you are left circle, and you do the job. The horse, and you don't lean and lean and lean, but you are meticulously on the inner side, because there are 2 ligaments, of course, and the cervical ligament on the inside must carry and articulate, because the horse is flexed like this. He articulates with that ligament, and you can cripple him by sitting on the outside. You cannot do that to a horse. And the outside leg back keeps the horse closed behind you. So when you go through a curve, he doesn't lose his shock absorbers by swiveling out. He doesn't swivel his hips out and goes around a corner like a sailboat goes around a lighthouse. He bends around the corner, not swivels. And I watched the World Games in Los Angeles from above. From my seat was above. No right bending horses. They went through all the curves with the haunches swiveling to the left, just spinning through the Grand Prix. If a first level horse would do it, when I judged, I commented on this. Lost bending in all corners, must establish appropriate bending to the arc. On a first level horse, Grand Prix, 58 riders. 2 riders had the horse on the inside seat bone bending correctly, not the other way. So where are we going? Are we going dressage? No, no. We are losing it because nobody teaches equitation. Nobody explains where the body parts of the rider have to be. So everybody thinks you are a rider if you sit in a saddle. Well, then buy a saddle, put it on your bathtub and sit on it. You can't, horseback riding is more. So did I explain why on the inside of the spine all the time? And that the outside leg position stretched and back is key. It's not an option. It's not like, I'll get it. No, you get it now because you are in the process of ruining your horse. So, these modern horses are so well bred that you cannot kill them. They are so strong and so able. To them, you are a green pea. They don't feel you. They say, oh, Agatha is rolling around somewhere. I know she's somewhere because I can smell it. She's somewhere, but I have no idea where. It's here, there, everywhere, because the horse is gorgeous. His 17-hand, brutally strong, elastic ligaments, floats through the air, and you are just mistaken to a mosquito. But you still have to learn the art as if you are not an Hanoverian, but you are riding little Brownie in Wyoming. Poor little animal. And you have to have the humanity to do it right, yeah? Anything else? Ooh, now, am I finished? No. Am I? Okay, I'm finished. Do we eat here?
No, we can eat lunch.
So do